Have you ever wondered if the limits you see in your life are real or just illusions crafted by fear? What if the walls holding you back are no stronger than paper, waiting for one decisive push to crumble? The truth is, most limits aren't physical barriers, they're mental constructs fueled by fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. These limits act like fog, intimidating from a distance but powerless once you step into them. The first step to breaking through is understanding that these boundaries are not as solid as they seem. Why do we hold ourselves back? Because our brains are wired for safety, not growth. They raise red flags at the first sign of risk, whispering, "What if you fail?" But avoiding discomfort comes at the cost of staying stuck. Real growth happens when you challenge those fears. The key: shift your mindset. Replace "can I do this" with "how can I do this?" Small, consistent actions combined with honest reflection can dismantle even the strongest doubts. Need proof? Look at anyone who's broken barriers, icons like Oprah or Elon Musk. Their success didn't come from avoiding challenges, but by seeing limits as stepping stones. They turned failures into fuel and fear into fortitude. So why break through? Because on the other side of your limits lies freedom, a life where you embrace confidence, possibilities, and your fullest potential. Today, take that first step. Write down your fears, reframe your mindset, and start small. Every tiny action moves you closer to shattering the illusion of limits. The question isn't can you break through, it's when will you start, because once you do, nothing can hold you back. Subscribe to Robbin Vision for more inspiring content, and let's break through limits together. Subscribe now. Number 1, what are limits really? Limits are not as real as we think they are. Often they're nothing more than fears disguised as truths. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, or even fear of succeeding and not knowing what's next. These limits are like fog, they seem solid until you step into them and suddenly dissolve. So the first step to breaking through is recognizing that most limits are mental constructs, not actual barriers. When you identify them, you strip away their power. Now think of a paper wall. It might look like it can stop you, but with one determined push, you can break right through. The same goes for limits in your life. They're not as permanent as they seem, and once you see them for what they are, you can begin the process of overcoming them. The next step: understanding why we hold ourselves back in the first place. Number 2, why do we hold ourselves back? Our brains are fascinating but sometimes annoying companions. They're wired to keep us safe. And in doing so, they also keep us small. Whenever we step towards something uncertain or challenging, our brain throws up red flags. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? But here's the thing, avoiding risk might keep you safe, but it also keeps you stuck. Growth requires stepping out of your comfort zone, even if your brain protests. Here's a little trick: the next time you hear that inner voice saying, "You can't do this," take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? More often than not, the worst case scenario isn't nearly as bad as you imagine. And even if it is, you'll survive and grow stronger for having tried. Remember, fear is only as big as you let it be. Number 3, how to break through your limits. Now let's talk strategies, practical steps you can take to shatter the walls holding you back. Step 1, get honest with yourself. Grab a journal and write down your fears, doubts, and excuses. Don't sugarcoat anything. Honesty is liberating, and it's the foundation for real change. Step 2 is reframing your mindset. Instead of saying, "Can I do this?" start saying, "How can I do this?" That shift in language flips your brain from fear to problem-solving mode. Big dreams are great, but start small. Take one step toward your goal every day. Small actions done consistently create massive results over time. Consistency is key. Motivation will fade, but discipline will keep you moving forward. Finally, surround yourself with people who believe in you. Whether it's a mentor, a supportive friend, or an online community, having a tribe that lifts you up can make all the difference. Number 4, proof that it's possible. Think of anyone you admire. Oprah, Elon Musk, Serena Williams, all of them faced massive challenges and setbacks. What sets them apart is not talent alone, but their refusal to be defined by limits. They saw obstacles as stepping stones and failure as a teacher. If they can break through, so can you. Success leaves clues, and their stories are proof that breaking limits is not only possible, but also transformative. Number 5, why breaking limits is worth it. So why put in all this effort? Because on the other side of your limits is a life filled with freedom, confidence, and endless possibilities. Breaking through isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the kind of person who refuses to settle for less than they deserve. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're living up to your potential. That feeling? It's worth every ounce of effort.